I was just thinking about like the prophets in the Bible. Boy, those guys had a tough time. Israel and Judah, even by the word of God, these are stiff-necked people. Were a stiff-necked people. And so God raised up prophets. And I know I did a post where I quoted Jeremiah 17, and I talked a little bit about Jeremiah, and you can read it for yourself. You're like, this is such a crazy space. Like this is such a stupid space to be in, Lord, because here I am, God. You're telling me to tell them this. I go and tell them, and they're like, nye, 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 nye. Who's Jeremiah anyway? Who's that guy? Like, he didn't even have any clout. They didn't even have any following. Like, who even knows? Who listens to him? There's no such thing. But first of all, how can even say there's going to be danger in Jerusalem? Really? Like, when is God ever going to destroy Jerusalem? Like, you know how the Lord needs this Jerusalem. Let me tell you, throw him in a pit, first of all. Huh? As in who? Like, who as who? He said as who? Jeremiah was a nobody. In fact, my NLT commentary talks about he was marked with poverty. Like, the world will call someone successful because they're wealthy, they have following, they have clout, they have platforms, they're celebrated. Jeremiah was neither of all those. He lived dirt poor. Jesus Christ, the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords, Aki Anani, wore a seamless garment which was meant for royalty and kings and for wealthy people. But he was torn to pieces by wicked men, myself included. Hung naked on a tree with a crowd baying for his blood, with just a few people in that crowd going like, wait, what is this? Just a few people. We can count them on our fingers, the number of people who are like. By and large, the crowd carried the day. Crucify him. The one who's calling the shots right now. The one who owns everything. The one who owns and created all mankind, has all power and authority right now. The one when he comes back. God, people are going to be like, rocks, just follow me. Follow me. Like, I would rather have a rock follow me than face him. And that's how he died. And he was also called a prophet. So, it's just very interesting how prophets, their lives just look so miserable compared to the world standards. Honestly, I don't know about a lot of modern day prophets, but it just, their lives look miserable compared to what people regard as successful. And I'm not saying that God doesn't give success to his people. I'm just saying, many times it just looks like, hey, Kweli, like, who are you again? What are you saying? As who? Come on, Nani. And here is this guy telling the people this, and the people are like pushing back, and God is moving forward and still saying, reinstating the same statement, because our God changes not. And I'm like, God, why do prophets have such difficult lives? Why are they always, why? But I'm like, wait. By the way, it's for such a time as that. It is for difficulty that God raises prophets. It is for difficult and trying circumstances and difficult people that God raises prophets. And by the way, do you know what prophets are? They're simply messengers. You know what they are? Like if you wanted to, like, I guess back in the old days that used to happen, just write a letter to someone, seal it in an envelope, and give it to a guy who's not even supposed to open it. He knows a little bit about what it could be, but he's really not going to read all the details. And he just shows up the doorsteps and gives you the letter. And then he goes off and he registers that he's handed in that letter. But that's all a prophet is. Then you see the guy receives a letter and then he follows the guy clobbering him with his mucus and everything because he doesn't like the letter he's received. And the prophet is like, me, I was just sent to this address to bring you this letter. Okay, like why are you clubbing me? You know. And prophets just go through this. They really get beaten. They may not be beaten physically, but they're beaten emotionally, psychologically, isolated, mistreated, hated, not celebrated. The Bible says a prophet is worth honor, but they'll hardly ever be honored where they come from. So I was just, thinking about it. I was sitting on my balcony and I'm like, God, why is the life of prophets so difficult? But, that's exactly the point. God raises them for difficulty. That's why Moses, that's why Moses is like, we're going this way. Guys are like, we're going, there's a whole Red Sea in front of us. Like, Moses, are you blind? Yeah, that's where we're going. For difficult circumstances, you can't even see the way through. And there is a prophet leading you straight into a wall. Going like, this is how we're going. Straight into a wall. Because let me tell you, God is like, go. The people are like, what? The prophet is like, move. Because something will have to give. And let me tell you, it won't be God. It's not God who will back down on his word and say, oh, I'm so sorry. I think I sent you guys the wrong route. Actually, I shouldn't have sent you through the Red Sea. I shouldn't have sent you down through that wall and through that mountain. I don't even know. I think I was having a bad day. It's not going to be God. It will be the people and the elements and the sea that will part and the mountain that will somehow create a door or get flattened if it dares raises its head. That's what's up. And prophets are raised to lead people or speak into difficulty and speak into difficult people as well. Let me tell you, by and large, the prophets I've seen in the Bible, and this just makes me feel emotional. Amos is like, me, I was not even a prophet. I was a farmer. I was raising sheep. I was, let me tell you, I was like, I was planting fruits. Jeremiah is like, me, I'm so young. Me, I can't do this, Lord. I'm so young. He's young, Jeremiah. Moses is like, me, stutter. I stutter. I can't even piece a sentence together. Most of the prophets, most of them had pushback when God called them. And it's a back and forth. Isaiah saying, woe unto me. I'm a man of, wicked lips. Even everything that comes out of my mouth. I don't know whether I used to use curse words. I don't know. Our people are foul-mouthed. I don't know. Just something makes me think there could have been people who speak words until you're like, where? Deliverance. I don't know. He says this. And God just seems to go for these people who are completely unsure of themselves. They have so many reasons as to why, it can't be me. It's that God cannot find someone else. And God works with these individuals. And, God is so smart. He knows how to kill 2, 3, 4, 5 birds with one stone. He knows, I'll send you on this mission. You'll have so much friction and so much pushback. But let me tell you, by the time we're done with this, you will know that I am the Lord and I'm the one who sent you. You will know that I have seen you and that I did not make a mistake. And if I have seen you, and if I've sent you, and if anointed you, and appointed you, and given you authority for that mission and that assignment, then that should speak to your inferiority and tell you something about how I view you. So let me tell you, even the whole process of being a prophet in itself is just like hard knocks therapy. You will end up so confident By the time you're done, you're like, well, you know what? I mean, either I ended dead or like nothing moves me. Nitakuwa moyo pia mimi. Like Ezekiel. God is like, even you are getting a forehead that's like flint. Kichwa ni mawe. I'm sending you to our people. Those guys are hard. They will not listen to you because they've not listened to me. But I'm sending them, they are your people. If they were not your people, they would have listened. Yani, go figure. Like, if they were not your people, they would have listened. But not because they're your people. They'll not even listen to you. However, I have given you a forehead like flint. Nimekupatia kichwa, pia wewe. Even them, they will have to deal with you. I'm like, what? God is like, hey, listen, even me, I've got my own arsenal. People want to be difficult. I've got my own arsenal. But anyway, I mean, those are some of the other aspects about prophets. I'm like, what? But one of the other really cool things is just how Jesus picks seemingly small, weak, look down and despise things of this world to confound the big and the wise and the celebrated. And this is Jesus. He's not ashamed of small things and little beginnings. He's not ashamed to come and find space in your little heart, in your little house, in your humility, just because you have that devotion towards Him. And really even start something with you that is just impactful, in spite of the fact that no one saw that coming. No one saw Jesus being born in a manger of all places. He's supposed to have been born in a palace. I mean, this the King of Kings was supposed to be coming. How is he not in a palace? How is he celebrating sheep, cows, and goats and shepherds? Ugh, those people. Those people. That make people go like, no. Yeah? They were so ratchet, Shepherds were not popular. In the culture of the day, shepherds were ratchet. And imagine, Christ ends up identifying himself as a shepherd, saying, I'm a good shepherd. Like, he picks that title that was not so popular in the day, and he calls himself that. I find that interesting. Like, how God is so like God of the palace and still God of the dustbin. I can't. Like, I really can't. So, do not doubt your calling. Do not ever look down on yourself. Do not ever think, surely me, I'm so small, no one even listens to me. But like David, man, he would open his mouth and talk in front of his. Those guys would just clobber him with words. Probably they even went physical. I don't know. The Bible doesn't say. They're like, you, I think you've come to kill you. What happened? Those sheep, you go check out on those buzzes of yours, man. Just move from here. So you can imagine, like, just think about it, how we speak, like how we can speak. Just put the madarao in the statements in the Bible. Just put that, just imagine how that was, how that conversation went down. And David will be looked down upon. And I would call David a prophet because David wrote so many of the Psalms that are the prayers of Jesus Christ and that are our prayers today. When we are like, you're lost for words, you're like, man, I don't even know it. Let me just open a Psalm and read. Like, it just captures what I'm trying to say. And David was a prophet as well. He was a king and a prophet. King David was a prophet too. Whew, I feel something just talking about David. So cool. A man of war, my God, he battled, he wrestled in the back bush, in the back banner. David was a prophet. But David's beginning was never a big beginning. David was like, I don't even know. Like, what? No, I don't even think he would even talk in front of his family. Not in front of his brothers. They looked down on him. He was like nothing to them. And then God ends up using David so mightily that the only thing we know about David right now is how mighty he was. We just forget about how unmighty he was, but he was mighty in God's hands. He really was mighty in God's hands. So anyway, I just wanted to have some rantings and ravings about prophets and patterns that I've observed, which are encouraging and quite cool, and they're even humorous or hilarious to think about, and they kind of just flip this thing and make you think, you know what, it ain't too bad. I'm not too bad. I too can be used of the Lord. Come on.